Right. Do a quick little sound check, see if you guys can hear me okay. Make sure that I am mute up on the 12 different things that I have opened up right now. It's interesting too, as wait for you guys to catch in. So I always try to do I'll log in from my phone or like from a tablet or something to check the stream quality or like the sound, and also to see what the delay is. And it's interesting. Tonight I went over to YouTube to see what the stream looked like over there, and it's funny. There's a 30-second delay on that one. I have like a 6 to 8 second delay typically going to Twitch, but I have a 30-second going to YouTube. I don't know if that's something with their guidelines or whatever it is, but didn't realize it was that big over there. But it is what it is. YouTube has their own kind of issues with it. So anyway, with that being said, if you guys have not joined and subscribed to YouTube, please go over there. Do me a favor, give the channel a follow. We need to get to 100 followers for basically a custom branded channel. They just set that, and I don't push enough over there. I'm typically on Twitch, but if you guys haven't done it already, please go over to YouTube and make sure you give us a follow on YouTube to help us get over that follower count. I appreciate it. I'm going to start adding a bunch more content over there. As I said, I would do a video for the secret Fibonacci tool. Mike actually posted the settings today, but it's pretty funny. I'm gonna make sure I call it that. I'll do like the sound changer or something for the secret Fibonacci tool. Have a good time with it. That one finally caught up. Let me lower that one. Just don't need to be hearing myself. That echo thing is funky. It's kind of like, do you guys remember back in like the good old days, like the answering machine? Like you would call your answering machine to check the messages, and then you would hear yourself, and you'd be like, "Do I really sound like that? Is that actually what I sound like on the phone? My God, that's horrible." It's kind of strange, right? Um, yeah, it's how I feel like when I hear my voice coming over the thing. Um, Wait, why is my? Oh, she's sending me things. Um, it's so funny. So I made so latest and greatest. I'll talk about trading in a second. I used the sous vide again tonight. I think this is like the fourth or the fifth thing. I'm convinced I should just not keep draining the water and refilling it each time. Like I feel like I'm gonna be surprised because I keep refilling up. But I actually did a I don't really like carrots, but I keep seeing on all these sous vide videos, these people are making these side dishes, and they do carrots. And like when you make carrots, it's how carrots are supposed to taste. And I'm like, what do you mean how they're supposed to taste? Um, they're like, it's not, you can't really describe it. But they're different. They taste different. So I made carrots tonight, and like the carrot flavor itself was so intense. It's like, wow, I see what they mean. Like I get it now. Like it's like take like your regular like in a bag steamed carrot flavor. You're like, yeah, it's kind of bland. There's not like a little maybe ton of sweetness to it. Nothing crazy. Man, I swear to God, I bit into it. I was like, holy God, it's like magnified like that little bland taste by like 100, and you're like, okay, that's what a carrot's supposed to taste like. It's much sweeter than you think it actually is. Um, it's pretty interesting. So, but yeah, another successful cook. I'm gonna do some more salmon tomorrow. I've tried salmon at one time and it wasn't that great. The cook was good, but it wasn't like it was like a frozen piece of salmon that I had, and it was probably beyond its time. It just wasn't the meat wasn't like the highest quality. So I got a nice piece of salmon. So I'm super excited for tomorrow night. So don't forget tomorrow night. Eva will be presenting for me at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be earlier because, as you guys know, she trades the London Open, so she goes to bed at like 8 o'clock. I think technically she goes to bed normally at like 7:30, so she stays up late to help me out. But yeah, so KTS Eva will be on tomorrow night, guys. If there's any technical difficulties, I will be around. My wife actually has a meeting for work, so I will have the baby. And at 7 o'clock, she will probably be all over the place. Maybe listening to, I don't know, maybe watching some YouTube. I don't know at that point. We'll see what she's able to do. But I didn't want to try to do chart school at the same time when she was being grumpy and trying to go to sleep all at the same time. It's hard enough to do that during the day to get work done. But so Eva will be here tomorrow. She'll be presenting. I'll be around if you guys need anything. Don't worry, I will make sure that you guys are still getting your pip chips. I told her I would log in because God knows when the junkies don't get their pip chips, what happens. So yeah, carrots are great. They taste like carrots are supposed to taste. Yeah, I mean, who knew, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't really like necessarily cooked carrots, but yeah. But they were in like just super strong carrot flavor. Like if you like carrots, you would really like them. Um, yeah, it was interesting. Definitely. And my wife's like, she's like, yeah, I feel like we should have had this for the actual part of our dinner because she had to run out and do something. So she's like, she's like, yeah, this would have been good with the chicken and mashed potatoes. So mashed potatoes, actually, those are the two things. I want to make sure that I had a good piece of salmon, And then I'm also going to try, I mentioned to try mashed potatoes. I've gotten a couple different recipes, and people said that sous vide mashed potatoes are like the bomb. Very interested in trying those as well. That's a hard habit to get into breaking. Going to be at like 7 p.m. Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. So I did plan a little thing. I was like, yeah, Eva. I was like, if you ever decide that you want to do like a London Open chart school, let me know. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I don't know if I'm good enough yet to trade and teach at the same exact time. She's like, but I'll work on it. I was like, yeah. I was like, I would be cool. I was like, when I first started trading, I was with a guy that they always did basically the first hour of each of the opens is when they broadcast. So they had an Asian one, they had a New York one, and they had a London session. So basically 3 hours a day. I always thought that's kind of like a goal of mine down the road. I'd always love to be able to do that. I just thought that would be that would be great to be able to do 3 different sessions like that at each of the opens for our students. I won't be doing it, but I thought it'd be great if eventually we get to that stage. So I'm trying to talk her into that one. And I was like, yeah, we'd probably have like 8 to 10 crazy people that would, wake up to, hear you talk about the London Open. So she's like, all right, I'll work on it. But I think it's going to cost me a sweatshirt at least. So I'm going to have to, if you guys have not seen it, I think the link it should work now, guys. I tried to put the merch store right below. I have to edit the panels. Obviously, it's in the front. I don't know what your panel situation looks like. But yeah, so you can actually click the merch button now and actually purchase the merch directly from the bottom of the Twitch page. I don't know if it works or not, but she is going to order one of the red ones. It works right under. The link works. It's under. Okay, cool. Yeah, so she's gonna get one of the red ones. I was like, yeah, I was really kind of like leaning towards that one. I got the heather gray one, just because that's it's close enough. I can wear it with a bunch of different things. White, I figured with the baby, the white one wouldn't last its first wearing, so I couldn't get the white one. Even though the white one would be really really nice, it wouldn't last long for me. So I went with this standard gray because you can still see it. But man, my next one is probably going to be the red one. She ended up going ahead and she got the red one, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have to get the red one next. Yeah, that's going to be my next one. I go to bed around 11 p.m. and get up at 4 a.m. Then take a nap if I need it in the afternoon. Well, I mean, I figured James would be on, right? Because James doesn't sleep. Okay. Anybody that's a West Coaster would be on because that's just it's basically midnight for them. I mean, it's a little bit late, but it's midnight, right? I feel like a couple of you other guys would probably do it as well. And then once some of the people found out about it, they'd be like, "Yeah, I would do that. I'm on vacation. I could do it for one day. Check it out." So he's probably talking to his oil people. Yeah, he could be. I don't know. At this point, he may still be at Walmart. Like I said, he had a great day today, and he said he was going to Walmart. I posted a picture of him in the little cart thing. Who knows? Maybe James is still lost at Walmart, right? He was going to Walmart. He was going to get one of those buggies with the basket on the front, and God knows if he made it out. Walmart's a big place. Oh, he probably hit DQ on the way because I don't know. I feel like this. So like, if he ever goes the way that he feels about Walmart is kind of how I feel about Sam's Club. Like I can just walk up and down the aisles there. I feel like for him, if Walmart started doing like whiskey tastings and like snacks, I feel like James would never leave. I feel like he would be there for good. We would lose him and he'd be logging in and be like, "I'm in Walmart, guys. I'm in the whiskey tasting section. Basket is full. The buggy is packed." I just feel like that's what we're dealing with. All right, so I'm gonna hear about it later about that one, I'm sure. All right, so let's dive into charts. Absolutely. If they set like, I mean, come on, he lives in Texas, right? If they set up like a Starbucks style whiskey and moonshine tasting section with free Wi-Fi, never leave. Never leave. Those super Wally worlds are huge, and one can easily get distracted. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. All right. So looking at today. So interesting enough, we didn't actually get as much movement as I thought we were going to. I really, really thought that we were going to get more of a response back from Trump this morning. I'm actually quite surprised, and I bet you there's some people in his base that are probably not super happy. I thought that, again, not that I'm over here saying that, let's go to war. Yeah. Because, I mean, obviously I'm not going to war. I'm not getting shot at. But, oh, Bird, are you stuck? What are you doing? Did your claw get stuck? There. Now get off. But I do feel like, the whole thing just is a little bit fishy, if you ask me. we're going to notify you in advance. We're going to shoot some missiles. It's like, okay, so is this whole thing just a complete setup ploy? Like, I don't know. The whole thing smells fishy to me. You know, it's kind of like those the original missiles that blew up. You know, the oil wells that knocked out 5% of the world population. Like, I don't know. I just feel like something doesn't smell right with the whole thing. And then the whole airplane thing. It's kind of like, So I was expecting a bit more response, a little bit tougher. I thought the market to be a little bit more down today. We didn't get that, and again, the Nadex position we took last night would not have been successful. But again, that's why we had $11, or was it $13 risk per contract. It just never popped back to the downside. Oil, oil took an absolute huge move. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I'll see if you guys can put it up here. Yeah, you guys can. Here is oil. Check this spike up. Here is an hour. Actually, I guess it's a daily supply zone, right? Very top end of the curve, daily supply zone, popped into there on news, and then all the way back down again. You're talking going from $65 and it broke down to $59. So you're talking about a $6 range. Literally, crazy drama hits a daily zone, collapses through the floor. Absolutely, just unbelievable. It just it's one of those things. It's just wow. I mean, talking about taking things in a low risk environment and looking for moves. I mean, who would have guessed it would have moved $6, right? I mean, that is just birds. I let you out and you're making noise. I put you to sleep. You make noise. I don't know what you want. Here, you want some more seeds? Birds are like the birds are now addicts. So I don't know if you guys have birds, but like they say, don't give them too many sunflower seeds because they're not, I guess it's fatty or whatever. So I ended up getting them the wrong food, and it has, I think, too many sunflower seeds in it. So now they only eat the sunflower seeds, and they'll like bang their bowl up and down. It's like I'm like, I got a baby that's demanding, and now I got two birds that are demanding. It's amazing. But yeah, so this is oil. I mean, look at this. This is I mean, actually, it should be more like this. Is kind of what it looks like, right? I mean, from here all the way down, talk about an absolutely just clobbering, a huge move on that one. Again, that is why Brother James. Again, we may not Brother James may never be back again, right? So that's kind of what we're dealing with. But so we really didn't get too much again. And then again, crude oil inventories, you can see we actually had, again, it was supposed to be negative 3.4 and it came in positive at 1.2. So again, just, man, the 1-2 punch on oil today, right? Now, non-farm was also a pretty nice surprise today. It was expected to be better, right? Again, again, this was kind of a double whammy on non-farm, right? 124 adjustment as well as 202. Again, better than expected for the unemployment change, which is always nice to see. I mean, again, getting a double whammy. Now, you didn't really necessarily get a retrace on this one because, again, at 8:15, we were still waiting to hear what President Trump was going to say. And that was really kind of what put a damper on a lot of the market today, especially this morning. And then really after that, it was kind of just, I don't know. I was put it this way. I was underwhelmed with the speech, and you guys saw in the score. They were saying, "Oh, they're inviting the entire press corps in, which means he must be willing to take questions." And Lily was like, "I'm out of here." Microphone drop, and he's gone. It was like, huh, that's not quite how I expected it to end. I don't know. I feel like it's not, the end of this whole thing. And then there was the thing with the rockets later on today that a couple of rockets landed in the Rocky Green Zone, but they were like the old school rockets, meaning that was one of the fringe groups. But yeah, I don't know. I want to say that it's over. Both sides are claiming victory in the whole thing. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I feel like it's not over. You know, I don't know. The second they start, making more uranium, I think that's going to be it. I think we'll just march in, or somebody else will. His mask was coming off. Yeah, well, did you see his hair? His hair definitely was coming. It was like at like a side angle. I was like the booth was like so hairsprayed. It was like a Jerry Jones style hairspray job there, and like at the one angle, you could see it like kind of like it was like coming off, right? It was weird. So yeah, maybe that was a stand-in. Maybe it was a fill-in for security reasons. For security reasons, right? So I don't know. But then the trade balance again, good trade balance for the Aussie, and you're seeing that that one. Aussie's in a weird situation right now, but again, that was very, very good for them going into the future, seeing this trade balance go the way that it did. So, again, remember they had that, the kind of surprise, with the interest rate thing. It'd be interesting to see where we go into the rest of the spring. And again, once we start getting some actual recovery effort, with the whole fire thing, I think it'll make a big difference. Oh, I joked about it yesterday. Remember last night there was that woman that was doing the selling the nude selfies for charity for Australia. She broke $1 million. I read it earlier today that she broke $1 million worth of donations now. Can you believe that? That's unbelievable. I mean, good for her. I mean, she's donated $1 million, but can you believe that? I mean, whew, pretty crazy. What do we got down here? Yeah, this was interesting too. I said this yesterday. We don't need U.S. We don't need Middle East oil anymore. I think that's here's that green zone thing that we're talking about for expenditures, losses after a surprise build. Iran appears to be standing down. I don't know. Like I said, something doesn't make sense. The movie Vantage Point comes to mind. Yeah, maybe. It wasn't that it wasn't enough tape. It was like the hair was so hard at the one angle. It literally was like that Johnny Bravo thing, and it looked like it was coming off the side. It was kind of funky. I was like, I don't really know what's going on with that. Um, yeah, yeah, it was $10. And here's the thing: I'm gonna do the math on it. She said, I will give for every $10 that you donate to one of these three charities, and you send me proof for it. I will send you a nude selfie. And that's what she did. And she's over earlier today. It was verified there was $1 million worth of donations that she had verifications for. I was like, that's a lot of selfies. Jeez, she must have been busy. But I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, it's for a good cause, right? I mean, it is what it is. I can say that I did not donate. I did not give her, $10 for that one, but I applaud her for getting that many. So. But anyway, for the day, we had the euro down a bit. Again, dollar weakness on this one. Again, we saw a lot of dollar strength last night. Now we have the dollar weakness kind of rebounding today. Dollar yen, obviously, we had the yen getting a bit weaker as well. And you can see that in the dollar yen as well as the pound yen. Down 105 is a big, or I'm sorry, up 105 is a big move in the dollar yen. I was actually looking for that to go down today. And again, that one just like the markets just went crazy. Again, I don't know if I feel like the market was not fooled by the whole thing either. I feel like they were looking through it. Dollar Swiss obviously was rebounding a bit as well, up 43. And again, not surprised by this one at all. Political tensions easing. Dollar, Swiss is obviously gonna weaken. Dollar's pushing that one back up. Now dollar CAD, obviously that one was going up again. Again, that's a dollar strength story. Australia's basically flat. Euro pound obviously flat, not too much there. And then pound yen up 122. So again, just above where the ATR is at this moment in time. So not a bad day. And again, that was the yen story because again you can see that against the dollar yen. All right. Now going into tomorrow morning. So BOE is speaking at 4:30 tomorrow morning. That may give us something. Again, with Brexit being passed through, I believe this is the first real big speech that the BOE has done since kind of the whole election and the passing of, through Parliament of everything. So in the past, he could just say, "Hey, we're going to follow the course of where we're at right now." Well, he absolutely has to acknowledge the whole Brexit and kind of where Brexit is going right now. So I feel like he'll give us some language. So I will say that there is some potential for tomorrow morning in that early morning 4:30 time frame that there will be some movement. So could be something going there. The two FOMC members at 8 and 9:30, not really concerned about them. I don't think they're really going to say a whole lot that we really have to worry about. BOC at 2 p.m., maybe. I mean, I don't know. A lot of times with these speeches, because there's not a number associated with it, it's kind of hit or miss. And again, I don't think there'll be anything, anything monumental out of that one. I think it's just going to be a standard speech, and I don't think we'll hear too much. But then retail sales tomorrow night at 7:30. Again, you guys will be in the middle of chart school tomorrow. Like I said, 7 a.m. start, so you'll be right in the middle. Just make sure you guys remind Eva about that one. Hopefully, she will be able to look at charts and chat at the same time. But I'll make sure I send something up for that. Yeah, I saw an ad from someone on Facebook promoting here. Oh yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it anywhere. I just saw it in a story, and then I saw it on another story today on Instagram. Somebody had shared another story from somebody else that was showing it was in the New York Times or something like that, or Washington Post or something that she had posted that they've officially gotten over $1 million. Yeah, it's crazy. In the first hour, she got over 100,000 or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's an attractive woman, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of $1 million in 24 hours or something, or 48 hours. I mean, I feel like with the internet these days, I mean, I don't know. I feel like a celebrity wouldn't be able to get that many, I mean, if Kim Kardashian was like, "Yep, hey, $10, we're going to donate to charity, prove it to me," I feel like she's not getting $1 million in 24 hours. I mean, you just go online and search her for free. I feel like she's not getting that. So, I mean, more power to that lady, right? Whatever. I'm not sure what her name is, but more power to her, right? So, if she was able to, solicit that for, donations. Again, people criticize her, but hey, I don't see those same people, getting $1 million worth of donations for a cause. Yeah. Well, and Ernest, that's the thing. Yes, there's probably a lot of creeps out there, but I feel like this. People are like, hey, you know what? For $10, I'll definitely donate to that. Yeah, I would like to. Like, if she was the straw that broke the camel's back on them actually giving up $10, why not, right? I mean, they may not be creeps. They may not even have looked at the picture. But how many people did the donation because they were like, hey, you know what? If she's willing to do that, I can give up $10. How many people didn't? How many people didn't take her up on the offer and still voted, or did that because of her. For the koalas, yeah. That picture with the koala drinking the water is like crazy. The firefighter that's giving the koala water, it's like, man, you feel bad for it. It's like, oh, I mean, it's drinking bottled water. You know, it's kind of funny. Not funny, but it's ironic. It's like, yeah, know, the environment, Mother Nature is fighting back, burning things down. These koalas are getting burned, and then he's drinking bottled water, which is also destroying the environment. Yeah, a lot of people assume Kim Kardashian. The other thing too is interesting about the Australia thing. And again, we'll jump into a chart in a second here. We'll go to the scanner next. Um, the fire has actually been burning since September. Didn't know if you guys know that. This is not a new phenomenon. The fires actually have been burning since September. So, you know, I saw that too, and I was like, what? Yeah, it's been going on for a while. All right, so jump into scanner land. You guys should be able to see this at the bottom of your screens right now. You should be able to see my mouse moving over here on the left. Okay, so looking at our majors, we're showing that we're in an uptrend in the dollar yen and Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is up very just minor, and again, 109 pips on the dollar yen. Obviously, it explains what we have going on there. Dollar Swiss, again, we have an anchor break to the top side, and again, that was giving us the downtrend because of a geopolitical event. So not surprised by that one at all. As soon as after we started to see the easing tensions last night, I was like, man, that one's going to be a long today. And again, it followed that direction. Pound still somewhat in that sideways up, but we haven't kind of broken through the top. It's not confirmed yet. And again, pound is slowing down. It seems like the pound is out of gas until we get some type of official news. I'm very, very interested to see um, what type of trade deals that Boris is able to negotiate. Um, I think that'd be pretty interesting. Very interested to see what happens with that. I think that'll definitely be if he can get some type of a favorable or a free trade deal with the European Union. Put it this way, if he can get free trade, man, there are going to be people jumping ship from the euro left and right because then he's got he's got all the benefits in this free trade agreement, right? There's no reason to stay inside the European Union anymore if you can get a free trade agreement with them. So looking at New Zealand dollar, looking at Aussie Euro dollar, both of them are downtrend setups, and we'll kind of check those out. Dollar CAD is just showing us a downtrend, and again, that one is actually up today. So again, we'll check to see what's going on over there. Now, looking at the European basket. European basket is again, everything is showing up right now, right? We have setup situations in the CAD, Swiss, and dollar, which means obviously it's pulling back, and that's exactly what you see. So it's kind of like we have Euro strength, and I don't feel that the euro is necessarily weak, but I feel like because we don't hear anything coming out of the euro, it's not it's not strong or weak. It's kind of like the no news is good news, and I feel like that's really what's going on. Euro yen's got a confirmation signal, and three of them have those, so we'll definitely check out at least the euro dollar and potentially the euro CAD. We'll see how much time we have. Oh, there's James. James, you're here. Welcome. I just want to know: one, are you still in Walmart? And two, are you safe? Because you were really, really excited today. And then as soon as I saw the buggy picture, I was like, that's it. He's not coming back. We're never going to hear from James again. All right, CAD basket. CAD basket, right? All right. CAD basket, again, it's kind of going back and forth. We have sideways, again, CAD yen, sideways up confirmed, sideways up confirmed. We were sitting in a supply zone last night, and we will see where that one is sitting right now. Like I said, there was a little bit of that setup last night. We were sitting up inside of his zone. We had a little bit of a pullback, but it wasn't anything too exciting. So still kind of bearish that one, even though it's given us that confirmed signal to the top side. Again, I'll show you that chart in a sec. EuroCAD again. That is one that I don't think we have that on top. We don't actually have that one. I'll pull that one from the other one, and we'll check that one out tonight. Let me actually pull it up right now. Um, EuroCAD. Yeah, I'll pull that one up right now. You guys can check that one out. I'll pull that up on MT4. And then looking at the Aussie basket. Aussie basket is pretty similar, minus the US. Everything is down. Again, obviously, the downtrend setups are showing us that the shorter terms or shorter time frames are going in the upwards direction. The Swiss, the yen, and the New Zealand are all in that direction. And on the lower time frames, you're seeing it as well. We have sideways up confirms. Again, that's pretty consistent across the board. You're seeing Aussie strength in the lower time frame. So, again, a lot of that is probably having to do with the trade balance now that it's kind of settling in. Now, looking at the pound basket, pound one is pretty consistent. Sideways up confirm, sideways up confirm, sideways up confirm, sideways up, sideways up, sideways up. And again, if you guys remember yesterday, they were down a little bit. Again, they have some type of an oil risk as well. But if you guys remember the newsletter from Sunday, and again, remember this is the last week for it, I think I can. I don't know if I can leave. I had the prior one up there so you guys can see it. I may just turn them all back in the draft mode. But anyway, you guys will be able to purchase that this weekend. I have to basically learn how to actually take it to that stage. I'm not exactly sure how to do that yet. So that'll be like a learning thing, probably on Friday. But I'll give you guys notice when we go ahead and do that one. Yeah, we'll figure that one out. Okay, but again, we're seeing pound strength, and again, now that we have that uncertainty is out of the equation, I expected that you would see pound strength again as they start rebuilding their country. And again, we don't even necessarily need the specifics about what kind of deal it's going to be. Again, remember yesterday there's a pullback about the no deal situation, but today the market's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, honey badger, don't care. So it's moving to the top side. I'm safe, and Walmart was fun today. Brian was worried KTS would lose to Wally World. Yeah, James, what I told everybody earlier, and you can play it back if you want, but what I said was, if you ever end up in a super Walmart that has a moonshine / bourbon whiskey tasting section set up like a Starbucks with free Wi-Fi and a mini DQ kiosk in there, we will never see you again. If one of those exists, we've lost you. You will just move in. Yeah. He was like, "Yep." James is like, "Wait, that exists? That's not heaven?" So, yeah. Like I said, there are many things I will live stream for my people. Exactly, James. Exactly, my friend. All right, so for me, for the scanner, taking a big overview, and again, if you guys are not using the scanner, remember, this is kind of set for overnight settings, and I'm using this, and I don't highlight it enough, but again, scanner is a great little thing over here because we can kind of look to see, hey, listen, where are we right now? What kind of opportunities, and what's kind of standing out? What are the overall trends? I mean, from the scanner right now, I'm taking that obviously we're seeing some pound strength in these. I'm going to see where we are on the curve for a lot of these pound pairs. We're seeing a little bit of weakness, but again, some pullbacks in the Aussie, kind of the same thing. When everything in that area is telling you the same thing, you got to look at it and say, okay, are we getting to areas of supply and demand? Is this pair potentially going to completely switch? That's kind of what you're looking for. When something is a little bit more mixed, again, that's where it gets a little bit funky. But again, bunch of setups, especially in a lot of these hybrid pairs. And again, they're involving the CAD and the Swiss. And again, CAD and the Swiss. Why are they involving the CAD and the Swiss? Obviously because of oil and because of the economic situation, or because of the geopolitical situation with the Swiss. Now remember, daily 4 hour, 1 hour is our overnight settings. During the day, you want to make sure you have this on 3 hour, 30 minute, 5 minute. Not that we're taking 5 minute trades, but it's nice to kind of see where the trend is on that lower time frame. All right. All right. So with that being said, let us jump across. Bam, over here let's go to the charts. I gotta say, I've been doing more and more and more of the testing. As you guys know, I've been trying to get these things nailed down as the best that I possibly can. Once I get this newsletter thing launched this weekend, the goal is by next Wednesday to have the MT4 indicators ready to go. We just made another revision. We found an error, and the programmer changed it and sent me another one, so I was testing that today. But I'm so used to at this point. I mean, I have not really spent that much time in IG at all. Literally all my time lately has been spent over on this side, right? And looking at this. I mean, this is you know, this is kind of what I told you we look at this pair, but this is literally what I've been looking at like nonstop, getting all this kind of like labeled out and kind of, finding zones. So pretty exciting, when we're looking at stuff. And I got all kinds of time frames everywhere now at this point. I may have removed it on there. But yeah, it's like testing this, testing that, testing this, testing that. Interesting little euro dollar uptrend setup, pulled back to a wick over wick right here. Oh, it's on the 5-minute. Okay, it's a very small time frame trade. It's like, wait, what? I didn't have that on the list. Interesting one. But yeah, so basically what this is saying, on the 35-minute, there's an uptrend setup right now, guys. Here, you guys can see it before we forget. Right here. You guys see in the upper hand corner? Uptrend setup, again, it's a small wick over wick right here. I can see in that small one because it's, it's here. You see it right here. Pulling it on its own. Just something small. So we'll kind of see how that one turns out. Testing it on all kinds of pairs. All kinds of pairs, all kinds of settings, and trying to make the adjustments. But it's so funny. Like, come back over here, it's like, oh god, everything's white. Why does it look different? Wait, did I mark this off? And it's just funny. That is like scanners like having an extra set of eyes. Yep. Yeah, and for me during the day, like I use the scanner that you guys. Whoops, not what I do. I use this during the day. I leave this up, and I'm constantly looking at it with the 3-hour, because it just obviously there's too many other pairs. But it is nice to have the combination too. I'm also actually using the parabolic one as well. That's on an MT4 client that I have running in the background, so I get alerts when something is breaking the ATR. I use that pretty often as well. All right. So looking at this guy, so we basically had that retrace, right? This is where we were last night in the middle of all that drama. We came down, and again, here's the spike to the downside, and this is what we're running into. So not really anything clean, but we did make this push all the way back, and it looks like we're almost all the way back up to that zone. Okay, now again, not a bad little area to take a short off of. Price has respected it before, not a bad little sell zone. Again, would we take the same 25 for the 75? Potentially. I mean, this was a big movement in a short period of time. And again, this is that Monday morning. Again, this was basically 2 nights of movement down. And again, this was the whole kind of down and up, / crisis last night. So again, it did hit its 3 to 1 was actually here. So we were actually out of this position. I'd be looking to take a short, but I'm not sure if I'd like the 25 pip risk on it. I may see if I can dial it down just slightly, but not necessarily a bad zone. We are going, we do have 2 days left for this week. Again, typically on a pair like this, I don't like to risk 25 if I don't have to. And you can see this is the zone. So unfortunately, there's not too much that we can shave off of it. Maybe a little tiny bit if we wanted to get like a little bit, I mean, take it to that level right there. But even then, whoops, move the wrong one. Hold on. Take it to there. Even so, it's still about 25 pip risk. So you may have to adjust it position-wise. Again, if you're not comfortable with 25 and you're used to taking 10s or 15 pip risk, again, you may have to take half your normal position size. And again, not the end of the world. It's the same risk per trade. I just typically don't let it take 25, particularly on something that's on that type of a bar. Looking at the ATR inside of this one, right? If we put the indicator on this one, looking at the ATR, you're seeing that. Oh, my daughter has chips everywhere. You can see that the ATR is only about 10, right? So that's 2.5 times the ATR in that time frame, a little bit more than we normally like, and that's 10 because it's this big spike is gone. So kind of one of those things. It's like it's the setup. It's not bad. It's getting late in the week. We'll see. Again, I'd like to see where if it does get up in this area, then I'd be willing to take it. One way that you could potentially take it too, if you want to shorten the risk, is see how far it goes into the area, and then wait for the confirmation reversal. Wait for the red, green, red to the downside. That's always a that's always a perk too. Okay, and then use that as your risk level, not taking the entire zone. So that's one way we can kind of shrink it down a little bit. All right. Looking at Aussie New Zealand. So on the scanner right now, you guys can see that the Aussie New Zealand is showing us that it's a downtrend setup, and that's because again we've had this push, and on Oanda, obviously this candle's a little bit green. You're kind of seeing it over here. We have a little bit of green. It's a downtrend setup. We do have a little bit of a pullback, but we just literally have cleared this, and we actually haven't gotten any white space under it. We've just cleared this area here. And again, this is what we're dealing with right now. We had this small little area right here, and we're dealing with this whole wick area. So technically it's a bit of a funky area, and you can see that this green here, I'm actually going to change this to a purple line, and we'll make it solid. There we go. We'll make that one solid, and we'll see where it pops across. There we go. Okay, so you can see that we had this kind of a bit of a clearing wick come all the way through, but there was that zone that's sitting here. That's exactly what we bounced off of. So it's showing me that although with this clearing wick over here, this funky, this August 5th Monday, something probably happened that day that sent us that low. It looks like there's something kind of going on in this area. Like I said, it bounced literally right off the top of that zone to pop back up again. So again, we are kind of stuck between that rock and the hard place, for lack of a better word, because there's buyers below. And again, we had sellers above. And again, we did go sideways and break through it. But now again, that old area of buyers is probably going to become an area of sellers. So again, you can kind of see this. We're bouncing back and forth between this high and again this low area. The lows are getting higher, the highs are getting lower, right? So a little bit of price consolidation. So I'm not really a big fan of this one. I don't necessarily love it. Way to trade this one would be. I'm like, why is it scrolling back and forth? Oh, wait, different commands. One way to play this one, if you're interested in dealing with this level tomorrow, is, and again, I'd like to get some movement off of it. The retail sales number will probably move this tomorrow. Okay, it'd be nice to kind of see it move from now till then. But if it flatlines in this area, there's really not going to be a lot of setups. We're going to have to use the Aussie yen or the Aussie dollar to be able to take advantage of it. Hold on, wait, what? But it's like, what does the action cannot be established mean? Basically, what it is, it means, you mean on this? Like if it says here, the action could not be established. It means that it's nothing. Really, I don't pay as much attention to when it's gray. The only time I really care about it is when it turns colors. So there's different trend states, and he actually added one trend state that we didn't have before. But it could be any number of reasons why it can't find something during that time period. What you have to know is you have to look for these. Okay, did you guys see this one here? Downtrend setup, 30-minute, 4-hour. It came up and it grabbed the wick behind the wall right there. Super, super close, right? But again, this is where I'm starting to look for it, is when it's in that trend state, and all of a sudden you see this light up. Again, most times I'm seeing it on the scanner. And again, what's more efficient, guys? Having a scanner like this that you can see them all at one time. And again, this is telling you the trend states, but it's nice to be able to see here because like, okay, listen, it's rallying up. There was one here, right? That wasn't horrible, though. That's quite a big wick, right? You can see that it came across, and had you used this one, again, right in the middle, that one wouldn't have worked. It did go higher and it grabbed the top one, and that's what led this all the way to the downside. Okay. So again, it's important to understand kind of where we are. Actually, did that? Yeah, it touched the bottom of it. It got super close. The fact that this turned away here, that would have invalidated that zone for me anyway. Okay. The fact that it got front run, it pushed back down again to this level, means that it was making another attempt to punch higher. So would probably have invalidated it on that one for me. But it did pull it from here. All right. So again, just different ways to do it. Here's another one right here. Downtrend setup. Grab that zone. You guys can see it on that candle, the red candle right there. Came up, grabbed it, and boom, 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 boom. So, like I said, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But it definitely finds a lot of things and helps with a lot of the entries. I will say that. So, but yeah, that's what that means. It means that it can't find it. It just, something's not clicking. Let me see. We can do a little bit of a right here. See if I can figure this out and help the programmer real quick. Would have been in this bar right here. Oh, you know why? And maybe because I don't think he doesn't have the confirmed. Oh no, he has confirmed there. He didn't have that before. That was added. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe because it was engulfed. No. I don't know. I'll have to take a picture of it and be like, hey, why is that not reading anything? And check it out. Like I said, we're trying to work the last little bit, but I don't really, like I said, I'm not paying attention to it right now. Like I don't really care, right? Nothing's lighting up for me. But all of a sudden you're like, oh, here we go. Things are moving, right? Again, this one died right here, so you know you're not going short on anything, right? So, so a couple different ways to do it. Again, downtrend setup right now on this one, the 4 hour and the daily, and it is coming into an area as well. Although there is a zone right here that I have to be cautious of, right in there. So, yeah, you get lost for hours in those things. But again, that's what I use the scanner for during the day. All right, so in this pair, again, this was more or less sideways movement. For the day, you guys can see that we had, let me bring this over here. As you guys can see, we're down 4 for the day, right? So really not too much. Again, we're down at this bottom level right here, which is a demand zone. And I mentioned this last night. It's like we got to see what it's going to do from this area. The last time the price was here, it did turn and pop, and it didn't even go as low, right? We basically have 4 wicks right at the same exact spot. So we know that we have some buyers sitting down here at 68.50. We're about 20 pips higher than that right now, with really no trend. So here's the 19 candle right now. And if you look back, the 19 candle was right here. So we're basically in the exact same situation. We popped up a little bit, went down a little bit, came back up, and we're in the same exact place where we started. No trending moves. Again, tomorrow at 7:30 may give us a little bit better of an option, but I am cautious with any type of sell right now because of where we are. Ideally, as I mentioned last night, I'd like it to get down to this kind of creamish area down here. If we can get down here into the 68.20 range, I'm definitely a lot more likely to take a long off of that because of how it reacted last time it was down here. It did push a little bit lower and then skyrocketed 2 candles back up, which were kind of extended body candles. So do like that definitely. Um, so that's where I'm looking more for a long on this one. Now, if we can be here before the news tomorrow, I'm all over. I love it. Give me more of it, definitely. Big fan of that one. If we can again be down here tomorrow when news comes out. All right. Euro pound was basically dead for the day, right? Euro pound is down 11, and again, that's actually moved a little bit in the last couple of minutes. As you can see, it's kind of turned again. I drew this last night. We talked about here's the top section, here's where we are right now, and last night we were right here. Okay, we did push down, but again, we had sellers, buyers, and again, has not cleared that area. We're waiting for that one to actually be able to break through the bottom side, and it was unable to do it at 3 o'clock this morning, and then it just flatlined. You guys can see we had this big spike down, and again, we know where the spike came from. And then spike back up again when everything was really just fine and the world wasn't ending and World War III wasn't starting, and then it just did nothing. Okay, so again, the trend has been sucked out of this one. With some speaking, there may be opportunities, but right now there's really not a whole lot in there. Now, looking across at the euro yen. All right, so euro yen's in an interesting situation. We marked this off before, right? Last time we were in this area, okay, we pushed very highly or very deeply into this zone, right? Up here at 121.38. Now, it's been literally back and forth, okay? We did push down, we went back into this area here, and we popped straight back up to the top. Okay, we were looking for, this is where we are now. Last night we were sitting right here, okay? Okay, we wanted to see if we could get a break of this zone. We didn't. Look at this. Remember I told you guys I was going to set an alert if we broke below this, I was interested? It didn't trigger. Okay, it did not trigger. It came down at basically in the middle of chart school, right? And then it ended up rallying back up again, based here, ended up going all the way back, retracing back to the top of that area. So I don't think this area is going to hold. I would not take a short off of this one. I do think this will push higher. So for me right now, I'm going to remove the gold, and I'm going to also remove the black line at this point. We don't necessarily need it. And what I'm waiting for is, don't need this. What I'm waiting for is top side here, or I want to see a break. Okay, so those are my two areas. I'm looking for this, or I am looking for a break below this level. Okay. And that's really it. So, I mean, if you wanted to leave this alert here, you're good to go at 1:20:16, and then I would put another alert sitting up here at the same area, or right there. I'd want to know when it comes up to the top. And until that time, I'm not super interested. Again, we're in between this top and bottom side of the channel, right? So, fair to go lower in this one. Kind of. I mean, this wick right here, this green wick, is at the same exact spot. But I actually had this drawn right outside the zone. I wanted to make sure that it had enough with a spread to kind of clear it. And it didn't really do it, right? Didn't really do it. And again, was expecting that we were going to run into something there. Okay. Ideally, I like that. I like this red dotted line better, which is drawn off the bottom side of the channel for the daily. But again, right now we're smack dead in the middle. There's really nothing up, right? There's a little bit down, but again, I don't like how this. It would be better. I don't remember who I had this conversation with. Oh, Sean, just had this conversation with you. Remember we were looking for examples? I don't like zones like this because the second wick is lower than this one. Okay. Had this green wick been the longer wick and then this one was shorter, that's showing me that we have buyers stepping in, right? Because it's unable to get lower, right? As buyers are coming in to support it. In this case, it was able to go lower, eating up more of the orders that existed there before being pushed back up again. Okay. Which means, yes, there were some buyers to step in, but you're losing it, right? It's going the opposite direction. So that's what I'm talking about. The candle is basically descending or not descending. Okay. But yeah, so again, there's my tops and bottoms on this one. Looking at euro dollar, which was also pretty much flat for the day, minus 38. We'll see what the ATR is on this one. ATR's got to be getting small on this guy. Yeah, the ATR is 41, so we're kind of there, right? We're kind of at the saying 38. Again, the days of the huge movement on this one is kind of gone. All right, so we did not get back to the area. Again, what we're doing, we're looking for price to come back down to this gap range. Again, somewhere in this 110.77 area. I wanted to really see what was going to kind of form above it. Again, here's where we are at 19, and then again, the 19 candle last night was here. Again, a little bit of a crisis, and I was surprised we didn't get as much movement as we did. 3 o'clock this morning, London Open is when this one tanked. This is where you got the dollar strength really flooding back into this market. And then besides that, really that one candle, right, that 1 4-hour period of time from here at 2:30 till 8, there's where all the movement happened. This was a European session move, and then nothing. Nada. We didn't get anything out of it besides that. And really your range for the day was about 35 pips. Okay, so not a very big extended range. With all the other movement that was happening today, this really didn't kind of pop up. This one just really wasn't on the radar. And again, on the daily, it looks right over here, but it's like, yeah, but it popped up. It kind of came back down again. It's like, I don't know. We're kind of right in the middle, right? So not really in love with that pair right now. Looking at Euro Aussie. All right, you guys can see. Here's the 19 candle. We go back. We guys know this was the 19 candle last night. Yes, this is the 19 candle from last night. Yeah, this is the 19 candle from last night. Remember we talked about? I was like, oh man, we're so close, so close. Like, I just need to just go a little bit higher. Just come on, just do it. And it didn't do it. Yeah, it's frustrating because the move on that one was 135 pips to the downside, and it was right there. It was right there, just right there. Pipettes, we missed it. Again, I was looking at this one on the other one. It's like, would we put that draw on everywhere else? It's like, no. I mean, here's the zone, but again, that's the price had been slightly higher. We were really kind of saying, hey, listen, that's the old zone. It was breached, but we would like it to breach that line just because that's where the original kind of it hit here. That's where the bodies were here. That's where the bodies were here. That's where the top of the bodies were here. So, I mean, could we have taken a little bit, could we have taken this zone as the actual zone? Probably, but we basically got front run on the position. I can hem and haw all about it. Missed that on 140 pips of that one to the downside. Got really, really close, but that's what happens. Unfortunately, we could have taken the whole thing, although it would have been safer to go above here, and we got a little bit too conservative. But what are you going to do? Okay. Where we are now, I want to see if we can continue to push to the downside. This one kind of ran into the same situation where we hit about noon and then just flatlined across. Looking at kind of how this was built up, there's really nothing spectacular over here. I wouldn't say there's a lot of pressure. Looking at how it came down, we had an impulse move, a correction, an impulse, a little bit of a correction inside of advanced zone, right? This wick over wick / like single wick over here. This I definitely think it could push a little bit more. Again, a little bit of basing right below where we are, and again, another area here. So, this is quite a bit of room here. I mean, running from this area down, you're talking about 80 pips. So there is there is a potential trade in here. Unfortunately, with this pair, though, the risk sometimes gets to be a little bit high. It has an ATR of about 80, so can it move 80 pips? Sure. I mean, that's its daily ATR. It should go that direction, but I feel like it's going to need some type of catalyst. I mean, the Aussie data tonight is definitely one of the reasons why it is moving. Although it's definitely kind of more flatline at this point. So I don't know. We'll see. Um, you picked up 50 on this one. Oh yeah, you had a lower zone. Yeah, you could have taken it off this one right here, but I was trying to go more conservative with it, just because again it is a bigger swing pair. Okay, and again, like I said, because of missiles being shot and God knows what else was happening. Again, just for me, it's just too much risk, involved with it. Okay, but again, you could have taken. Nice that you got 50 on that one. All right, Panyan. The other thing too is about I'm noticing about I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but it seems like the IG client. I mean, yes, I have a bunch of stuff on the screen, but I do feel like the IG client is definitely laggier than it used to be. I felt like it used to be faster. Now, like I said, I don't know if it's because I have all kinds of stuff drawn on the charts and I am slowing it down now, but I do feel like it's a lot slower, right? Now I'm like trying to like make a conscious effort to like delete like everything off. It's like, let me get rid of all this stuff now when it's too far away just to see if I can speed it up again. Kind of like, oh, we're not close. Okay, can't do that. All right. So this guy had a pretty nice move today, right? Here's where we were last night. It came down and grabbed this lower zone, and again, we talked about that last night. I thought we had marked it off, but maybe we didn't. Again, marking off this bottom kind of spike down here. And again, this is one that we were just. I mean, the yen was just getting blasted, right? Yen got blasted, came down, and literally that was the launching point to the top side. It's probably going to run into some sellers just above where we are right now. You can see the last time the price was here, it did get turned and flipped around. Looking at a potential kind of turnaround in this pair. Whoops, I'm going to move it up. Here's a small little area that's not horrible. Again, there's two ways to take it. This is going to be the more aggressive kind of attack on this one. Or you could, potentially take this kind of piece, which is right above it. If you were going to draw it correctly, and again, the reason why I'm not necessarily in love with this bottom one here, that one, um, is because this red wick is higher than the green. I prefer when the green is higher than the red. So being that we have a kind of a level on top of a level or a zone on top of a zone, for me, I would most likely delete that one and take the more conservative entry. And again, could it hit here and turn around and I missed another 140 pips? Sure, it could. But typically when that close, I always like to go to the one that's a little bit farther. Have I tried glitter? It's just this website, Ernest. I mean, I do have like 30 windows open right now. It's just this website. Anything else I load is very, very quick. So I thought that too. I was like, maybe it's because I have a lot of stuff open. I can click anything else and it's like instantaneous. I mean, it pops fast, except this one. There's something about this one that is funky. Don't know why. Why would I get a Mac? Why would I buy a less secure computer? That makes absolutely no sense. I don't understand why I would do that. And then if I buy a Mac, then I'm going to have to get a Windows emulator because nothing runs on a Mac by itself. And then in 2 years, Apple's going to send code to slow it down and kill it anyway. So I don't know. And wait, hold on. And I have to pay 4 times as much for it. I don't know. I'm just not seeing the pros here. Just don't see any of the pros for it. It's just not, holy crap, what just happened? Wow, I just got like 30 emails all at one time. Wow. Okay, I don't know what happened with that, but I just got like 30 emails all the time. I got a 2015 still runs like new with all updates. Well, that's a lie because Apple said that they send code every 2 years to slow your PC down. So yeah, video card makes all the difference. Yeah, you guys are crazy. I do way too much stuff like these services and stuff like that. I don't know. All right, so that's what we're looking for. I'm looking for a sell if we can get a bit higher on this one again, kind of middle of the road. Again, smaller, more more. You could a little bit more of an aggressive level here. Actually, let's check this out really. Let's go. Interesting enough. Let's see if that's marking that one off right now. Let's curious to see if it is marking that off as a level. It has us in a level right now. Yeah, it's not. It's marking the top of that off. Mm, yeah, interesting. It's giving a little bit of different look there. Yeah, I'd still go up there. All right, pound dollar. Fake news. Oh, look, guys, look. Vanessa has a KTS also because she was not in the first 10. See? Eh? Eh? See? Told you guys there was different colors. Told you. Who's the other one? It's Ryan. I don't know. Where's Ryan? Let's see. Ryan, say something. Let's see if yours has the KTS next to it also. I know you're still in here. No, it's Josh. It's Josh. First next to the names are the OGs. Yeah, I turned that off, but like it refuses to make you not an OG. Like I've turned it off. There's a setting where it says turn off the founder's badge, but it won't turn it off. No, it's not Ryan. Yeah, it was Josh. It was Josh. Because remember, Josh was here last night. All right, pound dollar. Okay, this one obviously is a bit more consolidated. First thing that kind of rings to me on this one is we had a high here, another high here, another high here. So we're forming some type of a trend line on the top side of this one. Again, I'm not a big follower of trends, but it does show me that it's consolidating, especially because again, here we had lows here on this pullback, a higher low, and now a higher low here. So it looks like it's somewhat consolidating, which would kind of make sense for the pound. Obviously, the only time the pound is moving is when we actually have any type of data that is saying, hey, this is good, this is bad. So, I mean, looking at this, here, I'll take it off to 15. We don't need to cherry pick this one being flat. You guys can see for the most part, I mean, really, you know, from 8 o'clock this morning, I mean, really from here, I mean, looking at 9:30 last night or 9 o'clock yesterday, I mean, we're in the same exact range. Okay, here's Tuesday morning at 8:30. We were at 131.14 and we're at 131.12, right? Or a little bit above that, 10, right? So not too much movement again. We had this one little spike up and then a spike back down again. So pound I wouldn't really say is trending, right? I mean, your highs on the daily here, then lower, and then here's one. I mean, here's one here, here's one here, here's one here. So it's definitely consolidating in. When this one moves, there'll be another explosion again, but that explosion will be generated from Brexit. So yeah, we'll see. I always thought nothing was besides my name because I use a Mac. No, it's not because you're a Mac. No, the blue crown is Twitch Prime, and then with Twitch Prime you can subscribe to a channel for free. That's how most of the people in here subscribe. The first means that you're the first 10, because I'm only considered, I guess, I'm an affiliate, and then once you have an average of like 75 viewers, then you become a partner, I guess, and that's when you're like a legit, streamer. I have to stream a whole lot more than I actually do for that one. I do meet the qualifications for number of hours and number of days, but I don't have the follower count. But then you become like a partner, and then it's like the first 25 people become that first badge is up there. And there's all kinds of other like loyalty things you can go to, but the Twitch Prime one is like a special one that you get for being associated with Amazon Prime. So that's what Twitch Prime is. But yeah, so you don't have Twitch Prime, so you don't have Amazon, and you weren't one of the first 10. That's kind of why you don't have anything in there. It has nothing to do with having a Mac, because Vanessa has a Mac and she has both. Yeah. All right, so not necessarily in love with that one. Look at New Zealand dollar. Now there are a bunch of emotes too. You guys don't ever use the emotes. You look at the little smiley face. There's like all kinds of, and like, I guess when we have like a snow unicorn. We have this. Whoops, no, I don't need two of them. Nope, I don't need two. Just need one. Just one. We have this thing, a haha goose, whatever the heck that is. But people basically get them. I don't know what Connor just said. Oh, he wants me to buy followers. No, thank you, Connor. I don't need to buy followers. We need a Rasta one. There's Rasta something in here, I believe. There's all kinds. I mean, there's all kinds of things in here. I mean, here's the one that Ernest put in. This is the one that Ernest put in about Mac computers, right? Dreads. Ernest put that one in. He submitted that one for how good Mac computers were. We did a survey, and that was what won. Oh, there's a fire. Yeah, there's all kinds of different ones. Like I said, people have. I mean, there's people that. I mean, there's one that like dance. There's all kinds of crazy things. So New Zealand dollar again consolidating. Don't really see a whole lot in this one. We had drawn this area, this gap off right here, and we just popped inside of it. So again, no movement in this one. Not interested. Looking at dollar Swiss, the panic basket. And again, my boy Q, he pulled this guy out, and we know what this one means. All right, so dollar Swiss. I like where dollar Swiss is moving. Again, not surprised. Here's where we are right now. Here's where we were last night and kind of all the drama. It went back down and it grabbed this area of demand here with the gap. Okay, that was this level right here. Okay, and again, that shouldn't be red. Let's change that to green so it doesn't get people lost. All right. Now, the target on this one, because we came to the downside, would have been back up into this purple range. So I'm not necessarily looking to get short at this area, but this is where your target would have been. You guys should have had the target at the opposing zone, which would have been right there. Okay. So again, not a bad little trade if you wanted to measure this one out. Based off the drama last night, it had 20 pips risk on this one, and it had 60. So actually, you could get 60 is right there. Okay, which again is basically at kind of the top of this body. So not a horrible little trade setup. I think we mentioned that one last night if you guys were interested in taking that one. And again, going off the gap here. So where we're now, I'd like to see it bust through the top of this. There is definitely a small zone here. It's not very big. I'd be a bit cautious with it. It's right in here. I don't know because this candle has pierced so deeply inside of it. I don't know how much weight I'd actually put inside of that zone. It may offer and may just be like a little bit of a speed bump in its further ascent higher. For me, I'm still looking for this one to touch here and looking for that is somewhat of a trigger for me to go short on the top side, right around that 98 area. To the bottom side, again, I definitely like this the dotted line here at 96.02. A lot of chop back and forth. And again, if Iran is truly over at this point, now what we're going to be dealing with is what's going to, are there enough sellers in here to stop this price from going back up again? Again, remember, if this moves up, this is dollar strength. For me, if Iran is over, I feel like all it does is just kind of, again, lower tensions. When we have lower tensions, especially with the employment numbers we have, I just see more dollar strength coming back in the market, not necessarily dollar weakness. And again, if Great Britain, I mean, I know there's a lot of different things that could happen with the whole Great Britain deal, but I don't see any reason why there wouldn't be dollar strength coming back into the markets. At this point, I don't know. I mean, if there's any talk of them raising rates because the economy is doing so well, guess where this one's going? It's going straight up. So that would be the next thing to come in line is when people are mentioning that. But that's what's next in the rotation. Market's still doing great, still at all-time highs. Inflation's starting to tick in. Okay, let's do it. Let's do the time to raise rates again, and that's what'll send this thing higher. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for up top. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD. We're looking at 50 today. Again, this is a dollar strength position more than anything else. Come on, you can load. Salt. Again, dollar CAD on the daily is a nice little pop. I mentioned I wanted to wait till this one got down here, wanted a little bit more of a conservative entry. Again, this was definitely a fair to go lower situation. And it wasn't really even so much lower. I mean, here's the little tiny piece of the gap. I mentioned before, when there's a little gap like that, you really need to mark the bottom side. And that's really where it wanted to spend its time. You guys can see, oops, cancel. I was just trying to move it. There's the bottom. Okay, you can see it never really left that area. Okay, Ernest and I were both in a trade. It was either a week or 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was longer. I feel like it was longer now because it's like 2 weeks ago would have been Christmas. But we talked about a CAD position that just took forever to unfold. I mean, it was just taking forever to go to the downside. This is kind of the same thing. Okay, you could have been in this trade since Sunday, and you finally kind of came back down, hit it, and finally bounced today out to the top side. So it's spent a lot of time in this gap area. That's a lot of time to have capital and resources out there. Um, Again, I still think that this 29.34 is going to be a better area. I'm getting quiet. I shouldn't be. I may have been thinking. No, it's good that I'm getting quiet because the baby's screaming in the other room. The baby has now gotten super needy. I need to call Josh. Um, Josh, I think, is the one. No, it's not Ryan. It's Josh. Josh has 5 daughters, and my daughter is 19 months and has turned super needy all of a sudden. So yeah. So with her turning super needy, it's kind of like, oh god. But she waits for me. Like she will not go to sleep now unless I come back into the room. So I can't get anything done. Fading frequently. Same sound for you. I mean, I'm looking at the sound thing, and it looks like it's okay. Hello, hello. Yeah, I mean, I can see the sound moving. It only gets worse. Will, great. Trade just mentoring for babysitting. He's got 5 daughters, so I'm pretty sure. I mean, one of them drives, so she's definitely old enough. So yeah, maybe that works. No, she's like super needy. Now she wants me to carry her like nonstop. Like I need like today I was like honestly debating. It's like can I get like we packed her baby carriers away. You know those carriers like you wear on the front like a koala bear. I was honestly debating. It's like maybe she wants to go back on one of those things. And she just won't like. It's like oh god, yeah, it's crazy. I'm like I'm gonna have to wear another one. I'm gonna have to wear that thing again. It's so emasculating. All right, so dollar CAD. One thing I'm looking for on this one as well is last time that price was up into this range, right? Price turned around and kind of dropped, right? We kind of dropped, we went sideways, and that's the kind of the cliff it fell off of. We're approaching that same area, okay? And you guys can see here, I'll mark this off with a purple as an area of interest, okay? Yeah, she's super unhappy. Oh, my wife is pissed too. It's obviously affecting our relationship because she's like, "Why does she hate me?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then the baby will scream. I'll walk in. The baby will like run to me and drive my arms, and then bam, she's quiet and goes to sleep. So, wife, I'm definitely in the doghouse with this one. So I need Josh. I need some help, man. You got to help me here. But again, we're looking for this one to kind of potentially turn and flip here. We'll see. Like I said, looking into the news again tomorrow. Is there anything in here that screams that this one could turn? Yeah, potentially here, right? Again, we don't know what they're going to say. We don't have any data about it. The text of the speech. Yeah, so it's like I mean, they're talking about hawkish or I don't know. It's one of those things. We are near an area of supply. It's a very minor area of supply. You can see it a little bit more over here on the daily. This drop, sideways drop. Um, it's not bad. Uh, Probably like a B rating. We'll see where price is if it's able to stay at that area. I mean, if it flatlines from now till then, it may be something. This may be something you want to take before they speak. Maybe look at like an 8x 2 hour, something that's very very small. Now, granted, dollar CAD is not the best 2 hour binary. It has a larger strike, but that may be something that, again, if we're lining up against that area that you guys want to look at tomorrow. Remember, that speech tomorrow is at 2, so you'd be using a 1 to 3, right? So you'd only have about an hour after that, which, again, makes it probably pretty cheap. I know you can get pretty low risk on that one. Looking at dollar yen, as we know, dollar yen is basically off to the races today. When we first started, it was up one. It was at 112. Obviously, at this point, it's starting to retrace back. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. You guys can see where we're at. So, again, we talked about this last night. This one had pierced about 70% of the way through the zone. Didn't know if it was going to hold it. It did hit, and it did retrace back again. Had you tried to take this as a short, again, we were already up over 1.5 to 1. You would have definitely, without a doubt, gotten out of that position at a break even had you taken it. Again, coming off of this range, though, that would have been more of a target that we were looking for. Again, based off the bounce here, again, obviously we were looking for an opposing zone. Here was your bounce, right? Last night, at this time last night, ran right into the zone, and what do we do? Look for an opposing zone. Okay, so your profit targets on this one, had you guys not take, and I think some of you did, but there's your profit target 1. Profit target 2 is right below this zone. Both of them got hit. So either one of them would have worked for you. So this would have been a nice little grab for any of you guys that took it. Again, even if you got it when we were leaving this area, you're looking at 60 pips or 90 pips. So whichever one you wanted, take it. Yeah. It was your sweetie today. It was your precious. Wait, is that? I think that's a thing. Hold on. Wait. I think there's a wait. Hold on. Oh, there's not. I thought there was. No. Um, I thought there was one for that. Man, there are so many emotes in here. Oh, I thought there was. Man, I thought there was something in there. Anyway, here you go. How about that one, James? We'll do this one for you. that was his sugar today. um, yeah, like I said, it was a bounce off of there. This would have been a Nadex only trade for me. It obviously moved many strike prices, so definitely something you guys could have taken. There were your two profit targets. It did hit. Again, a little bit riskier. As I mentioned last night, I wasn't trading anything in the spot realm last night until I heard exactly what was going to happen because a lot could have happened. So, but this was a Nadex trade. I didn't take it, but I know some of you guys were probably trying to get into them. And again, this morning there was definitely some plays, without a doubt. You can see it just continued movement. Again, a little bit from 6 to basically 11 when Trump talked. The market was like, what are we going to do? And then he talked and we're like, yep, okay, good. We're good. Market's great. So again, you guys can see big spike, wait, up, rest, up, and then just rest it. Okay. We'll see. I wouldn't actually be surprised if after the day that it had today, again, it is sitting kind of in this drop-based drop right now. And again, it's right at that level, right? I'm not surprised. If we were up a little bit higher, up at the 109.50, I would be interested in shorting that one. It's got to move about 30 pips from there. But I wouldn't be surprised if this one is actually down tomorrow. This was a big rebound, more so than what we normally get. I mean, you guys can see over here. I mean, this is a large candle. It's one of the larger candles on this entire board. Typically, when we see that, we're looking for some type of a retracement. Now, if it continued to move a little bit more, again, 109.50 is definitely a sell for me. I'm very interested in that if we can get that sell in there, if we can get that far up. Unfortunately, this may continue to move up tomorrow, and then we go into Friday sitting right up at that zone, which, again, not the end of the world. I am absolutely 100% cool if we end up there on Sunday. And when the market opens on Sunday, if we are sitting inside of that zone of that 109.50, I'm definitely looking for shorts. And again, you could take a weekly short of that one, and that may not be a bad opportunity for you, right? Taking a weekly short there to run this thing back down to this 108 area, okay? So we got that option coming up. Last but not least, CAD Yen. So we were looking at CAD Yen as a potential, and again, this one was associated with. I mean, you guys can see the movement on it. It's kind of crazy, right? I mean, here's where we are with the 19. Looking back last night, we were right here. I mean, this thing spiked all the way down, and then came all the way up, and actually it breached the top. It didn't. Again, this was the kind of conservative draw. We have the wicks above, so again, this was more kind of an area we were looking to kind of use as a target. But again, we would not have drawn this without incorporating the wicks. This is just kind of that area. It would have to be probably up here. I mean, we'd have to go farther back. I don't know that I can. Can we see it? Since price has already gone through so many of these and bounced through. See what that. All these profits. Um. Gonna like these are out. Take those things out. Nobody will understand those draws anymore. Um. All right, there we go. God, that's an ugly zone. Duplicate that, so it's the same thing. Right. And that's not even the best one. We're probably hitting something better. No, that's actually it. I could probably increase it a little bit, but I'll leave it there. It's about 40 pips. Let's go there. All right. All the way back. All the way back. All the way back. Fading sound right now? It's because I wasn't really talking. Maybe. Sometimes like it'll change based off. It like tries to adjust the sound. So puts it higher. So okay, if we can get back up to that 84 range, it's definitely a sell. We need to move about 25 pips. And we can push up another 25 pips if we can actually break through this zone here. And again, this pierced deeply, and again, this one kind of pulled back. We'll see if this can continue to drive. It's at the same point. It looks like it wants to do like a little. But this way, if price starts to come back down and we get to this level, every trader in the world is going to be like, "Oh, wait a second, look, look! I know this pattern. There's one, there's two, there's a double top. I need to sell." So don't be surprised if price starts to pull back if you start seeing everybody and their mother selling it right here. Okay, in which case, a potential profit target is for you right there. If you want to find something on like a smaller time frame, right? But again, you're going to see that, right? Because it's an easy pop and an easy pop. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a double top. I know this pattern. I got it. I know this one." So yeah, you'll see that one. Okay. Besides that, again, there's a potential short off of here, but it may just be. I think it's just trying to grab a little bit of orders. This push up ran into the same exact area. If it had failed and was only over here, up in the 83.77, it would have been a better short. But the fact that it did push up and it has the same exact top means that it found those sellers up top. If it can find some buyers down here and get any type of momentum, it's cracking at that same group of sellers for a third time. And again, number 3, number 4 is typically when we see that failure to go, failure to go through. So, or failure to hold. So, could be there. Iran might see you want to help with that. I think it's so messed up. A triple top on the 4-hour sell orders. Yeah, it's going to get eaten up. Yep. I mean, this little bink bink. Yeah, the orders are getting eaten up. I don't think this is going to hold much longer for a short. If it's on a little bit of turn here, again, I think this one can continue to go higher. So, yeah, it is what it is. Looking at oil, let's see. I think I still got that chart somewhere else. Where is it? Boom. This one. All right, so for oil. All right, so interesting things about oil, right? So again, this daily zone held up top. There's another daily zone that we do have to kind of look out for as well, and it's the one right here. Okay, so we do definitely have an area of demand right below. I should technically put it there, but we'll put it right there. Okay, so that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Again, like I said, huge retracement down, and it's kind of strange because it wasn't just one day. It was kind of like this was last night, and then shot up, and then shot all the way back down again. So it's kind of one of those funky things. It's like, oh, what about the daily, right? Well, it was here, went up, and went even lower. So I'm actually thinking this will continue to kind of tick back up again. Um, I think part of the reason why this dropped so far down was because they mentioned that none of the oil, none of the energy was hit, right? Not only was none of the refinery or none of the rigs hit, and it wasn't attacked, which that'll be the first target. But Trump also made the thing about how we don't need you; we'll just produce all our own stuff, and it's kind of like, So that kind of is a sign to lower demand. So I think that's why we had such a large reaction. This is a lot of movement, though. You guys can see this movement here, and we can scroll back. I mean, that we don't have that much movement anywhere else. I mean, over here, right? September 19th or September 13th, 2019. But besides that, I mean, you're not getting, and even this is what, 55 to 62, right? This was 60, 65 to 58. So last time we've seen that, again, I would expect some type of retrace. If I had to say kind of one direction or the other, I would probably say I'm a bit more bullish. Um, I am cautious of this wick over wick sitting right here in the middle. So again, just be a little bit cautious with that zone. But for the most part, that's kind of where I see, this going. And that's on the 4-hour. Looking at the 1-hour, you can see that it really doesn't change anything at all. It's the same area. If you wanted to refine it just a little bit, you could kind of shrink it up into that area. Right, put yourself at 61.86 to 62.44. As far as again, if you use that as a long target, or if we can come back up again, then potentially taking it for a short. All right. But man, look at that. See, I haven't moved that. Even dropping it down to the hour, you can see very, very close. But man, it came up and hit, and that was it. It turned and ran. Um, you know, nice little target. All right, nice little money move. James, I think you made some money on this short today too, didn't you? They might see UN. Yeah, they're gonna talk to the UN and be like, "Hey, we don't know what happened. It was one of our guys, but we don't want to get in trouble. God forbid Iran actually shot that thing down." 2 dips, minimal CL shorts on the X today. There you go. All right, so yeah, there was something on there. All right, so guys, get your drawings in. I have Streamlabs on something here. There you go. Make sure you guys do the exclamation point ticket. Uh, I love some of the private messages you get. Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on followbot.com. Like, yeah, I don't need it. Thank you, dude. Some of these things are hysterical. All right, let's see. Everybody in? I think so. All right. With that being said, I'm going to close the drawing down since I know there's a 30-second delay at 1:24. I'm shutting it down. That way, it gives you guys the last couple seconds. Wealth Builder's already in. I know he's the one that tries to like scalp it right at the very, very end, get me distracted talking about something else. 20 seconds. Anybody else? Anybody else want to buy a second ticket? Ryan has the best chance of winning. Here he goes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bam, here we go. Winner is. Ooh, Wealth Builder stole that one at the end. 7%. Look at that. Wealth Builder, it's been a while since you've won one. It has been a while. You've been in there trying to mess with Ernest for so long, and I feel like you haven't been successful trying to steal his strategies. Ernest is actually in second place behind Will, but that's because Ernest actually has he purchased some of the indicators. So Ernest is actually using his stuff. He's using his Dell. But yes, Wealth Builder snuck in right at the end, and he's got his own strategy. He has an anti Ernest strategy. Is what he's got. But yes, Ernest is actually starting to use some of his pip chips. He's redeeming. He's redeeming. And remember to get to the store, guys. You guys I can open the store here. It's just this. If you want to use these, and I will probably add one of the other indicators that I have as well, that I've been using. So, but you guys better do that. And again, Streamlabs it links through Twitch or something like that. I think it's different because I'm already logged in. All right, guys. With that being said, I will bounce out. Remember, tomorrow night special session, special time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be around. I will make sure that I can put the broadcast out so you guys can still see it. It will be a Twitch broadcast only. And remember, if you guys have not done it already, or if you have more than one email address, right? If you have more than one email address, particularly for Gmail, please go over to YouTube, click it below, and make sure you go ahead and give us a follow on that channel to help get us over 100. Appreciate that. And with that being said, I will catch you guys tomorrow.